Hi, it's Jamie Greenberg, celebrity makeup artist. And this past week I was with Kaley Cuoco-Sweeting in New York City. If you were following me on Snapchat, you saw all our escapades. And I decided to do a pulled out natural eye on Kaley when she was on Jimmy Fallon. This is the look. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to get that look, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the eye. I'm gonna move my bangs to the side, which will get tons of comments. I can't believe how controversial my bangs are. It's crazy. It's like the Republicans versus the Democrats in the bang war. Woo! All right, so the first thing we're gonna start with is a brow. We wanna make sure we get this brow on pretty nicely because it's going to be, the hair was kind of parted on the side, so it's really all about this one side. So I'm going to draw in the brow. So I'm using Thrive Cosmetics, which is the Infinity Waterproof Brow Liner. And the great thing about this is it is waterproof and it looks super natural. And I'm just gonna fill in the brows. So we create this strong brow. Brows are all the rage right now. Oh my God, right? Okay, this is Sicily's Fido Eye Twist in 1, and I'm gonna use it as a primer. So I'm just placing it all over the lid. And then since it's so light, I'm just going to take some sort of straight edge. I actually use my friend Teeny's license. So I will just follow in my footsteps and use my license. And I went from the bottom of my eye and just kind of did this little line, like so. Then I took a brush and kind of blended it a little bit more and blended this out a little bit. And so what I'm doing is I'm coming from, we're gonna have this kind of line here, and then we're just gonna kind of close it like this. Again, it depends on your eye shape, but this is what we did for, this is how we're gonna do it for me and how we did it for Kaley. So then I took MAC's eyeshadow in Mythology, and I put it all over the lid. And then the nice thing about this, the Fido that's underneath, is it kind of lays as a barrier. And then I took the license again and kind of drew out even more as a straight edge. And then I came on top and created the same kind of straight edge and then went down into the crease. Then what I did, because it's really hard to be perfect, was take a MAC wipe. These are my favorite wipes. If you have super sensitive skin, they might not be the best because there is a fragrance in them, but they take away everything. Everything. So they are my #1 wipe that I love, but there are other wipes that I like to use. Simple makes a really good wipe that I like to use if I don't need as heavy duty. But then I made sure that I cleaned up any of the fallout. Like, you wouldn't think there's that much, but there actually is. And then on the top, sometimes it's easier to change a shape from the top rather than the bottom sometimes. So I just nicely edged it out a little bit. And it is so, I mean, we're gonna have to move in close for you to see it because it is so vague. Like, it's like this natural pulled out eye, which like with a black would be crazy and super graphic, but because it's with this beautiful gold, like rose goldy color, it really looks nice and it really isn't too much over the top. Now, to create a little bit more shape, I took Goldmine by MAC, which is this like yellow color, and I placed it right in the middle of her eye like this. So it kind of popped out, and then I took a little bit more Mythology and kind of blended it, but then in the middle of the eye, it really popped out. So then I took Sumatra by Smashbox, which is a pencil, one of the waterproof kohl liners. First, I filled in underneath, and then I filled in her lash line, and then I went on top and lightly created a line. We didn't want it to be too graphic. We didn't want it to be, you know, like anything to compete with what was going on. So we made it really natural. We kind of even blended it a little bit like this. You have a little bit more definition in the eye. And then I took their Real mascara by Benefit and just coated the lashes and then put a little bit on the bottom. And then I took a little bit of Mythology, the same color, and I placed it underneath. And then we had this like really pretty eye. And then I took my beauty blender buffed on Vitalumiere foundation. It's the Vitalumiere Aqua by Chanel. And you can be really careful under the eyes. If you need to go back in, you always can. It's amazing. You can see how great makeup is though, just by like the two different sides. Again, we wanted to keep it really simple. And then I took my MAC brush and a color by ColourPop that may or may not be available soon. And I brushed it all over her cheek and a little higher. And it's kind of this nudie, shimmery, blushy highlight. So there we have it. And then for lips, I actually blended, I'm gonna do it with my finger, but I blended, this is the 6 Modern Browns. It was Paramount and half and half. So I took Paramount and half and I mixed it, and it created this really pretty nude. I love getting these from MAC. So it was this really pretty nude natural look with a pulled out eye that just made it a little bit more edgy and a little bit more different. Super simple to do. It took me like no steps. There's wine, there's pinks, there's oranges, there's also reds and wine. Oh, I did wines. I've had a little too much wine. So here it is, the look I created for Kaley. Look, same look for Jimmy Fallon this past week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This super natural, super nudie, but a pulled out light eye. A little bit of drama, but don't tell your mama. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to follow me on all the social networks and don't miss anything. I don't want to miss you. Keep me posted of what's going on. I love when you guys comment and I comment back. You guys are the best. Love you. Peace. So this for my browns, my shading, and this for my highlighting, all under the umbrella of contouring.